Hey everyone, it's Brett Hornby here, and welcome back to my YouTube channel, and happy Labor Day weekend, everyone. As a CFL fan, it's definitely my favorite week during the CFL regular season, and unlike last year at this time, it feels more Labor Day-ish because we actually have football games to look forward to, and making this video a few hours before the Labor Day Sunday game. We have the Saskatchewan Roughriders and the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. But in this video, actually, as a Stampeder fan, I always look forward to the Battle of Alberta on the Monday. But I got a nice, pleasant surprise and some good news talking about our quarterback in Bo. As you recall, a couple weeks ago, I made this video talking about and giving my reaction when he got placed on the 6-game injured list, as he had I've now read bruised and broken fibula. I still like to know, how the heck do you play on a broken fibula for a game and a half? But he was placed on the 6-game injured list, and at that time, it looked like Michael O'Connor was going to be the quarterback, and then indeed it was Jake Maier, and I was like, ooh, this is interesting. Flash forward to 2 weeks later, Jake Maier, with the exception of the first quarter of the first game, he's looked great, but now Bo Levi Mitchell has actually been taken off of the 6-game injured list. He will not play tomorrow for the Calgary Stampeders, or even dress for the Calgary Stampeders tomorrow for the Labor Day Classic against the Edmonton Elks. However, the fact that he has been moved off of the 6-game injured list and now is just on the 1-game injured list, it means he can at least practice. And he did practice in full gear with the Calgary Stampeders this past week. I looked it up, that there was some nuances with the salary cap. At the time when he was placed on the 6-game injured list, I looked at the calendar and I said, well, the next 6 games that the Calgary Stampeders play will not be until the Thanksgiving weekend, when the Calgary Stampeders are in Regina. And by the way, I am actually thinking about going to that game live as well, in addition to the Labor Day rematch. But there is a clause that if you put someone on the 6-game injured list, a couple games have got passed and he's been taken off of the 6-game injured list, what happens is that salary cap implications, you have to count his salary onto the salary cap in retrospect, or retroactive, I should say. So that's just pretty much the only nuance of that, but it must mean that he is healing just a little faster than anticipated. And actually, after the first week, after the Montreal game that Calgary won in dramatic fashion, or held on, for Jake Maier's first win as professional starter, there was 3 Down Nation that was speculating that Bo might actually get off the injured list early, and maybe, just maybe, he'll play, let's say, maybe the Hamilton game later this month. Because I'm thinking at this stage, and given how well Jake Maier has played for the Calgary Stampeders up to this point, he has 300 games, yard passing games. Last week he set the franchise record for most consecutive completed passes at 17, and given all the quarterbacks that this franchise has had, that's impressive. It gives Calgary a luxury that we could say, get well, Bo, but let's not rush you back either. All this does is it builds up the quarterback depth even more for the Calgary Stampeders, and potentially I would make this decision in the off-season, not this season, because I know there's one team, Ottawa, might be thinking, Calgary suddenly has 2 quarterbacks. It's only been 2 games. It's not time to rush, trading Jake Maier to get some assets. You definitely need 2 quarterbacks in the CFL, given how well the league is driven a lot more compared to the National Football League. You definitely have a greater chance of winning when you have a stud quarterback. But if you have depth, then you're not as screwed. And 2 weeks ago, I feel like I was on eggshells and trying to keep the faith that Bo was on the 6-game injured list, and I was thinking, ooh, is this season going off the rails? But how I'm feeling right now, I am feeling a lot better how Jake Maier has played. And he actually reminds me of Bo. When he first came into the Stampeders, kind of have that cocky, arrogant swagger. I mean, I remember Jawan Simpson in camp when we signed Bo Levi Mitchell, and he said he was like the most arrogant SOB he ever met because he was so focused and driven. And obviously he's been, proven that he's a stud quarterback since then. But Jake Maier kind of reminds me of Bo. Just how he's dialed in, how he's been engaged. The only thing I give Jake Maier over Bo is the fact that he is not afraid to scramble. He's not just someone that stays in the pocket. Jake Maier will give that option if Calgary needs a spark to, change the complexion of the game. But I'm just definitely feeling a lot better that Jake Maier has filled in, and Bo has been taken off of the 6-game injury list. So I'm going to predict that he will be back in the Stampeders lineup probably for the Hamilton game later this month. If you look at the calendar for the Calgary Stampeders, they got the back-to-back with the Edmonton Elks, with the Labor Day Classic and the Labor Day rematch, which I am going to that game next weekend. And then they are on the road in Hamilton. Then they have a bye, which takes them into October, where they have a back-to-back against Saskatchewan. October is going to be a busy, busy schedule for the Calgary Stampeders. So hopefully, we would have Bo and a more confident, have more snaps in with Jake Maier that, we're back. I'm going to dare say we're back. Sorry, CFL. I always sense, given how strong the Stampeders have been over all these years, that the CFL is just anxious. I guess we are the New England Patriots of the CFL, and that Bo Levi Mitchell is the Tom Brady. But it seems like just when we're down, and the rest of the CFL can say, finally, or it's like, nope, we are back. And I like that. And in this competitive West, we're going to need to stay up there with Winnipeg and Saskatchewan. And speaking of those two teams, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing those two head-to-head. And, it was 5 years ago. I was at the old Mosaic Stadium watching them go head-to-head. I'm definitely anticipating a great game, because right now those two teams look like the cream of the crop. And it's the first time they met since the 2019 Western Final, which Saskatchewan lost in heartbreaking fashion. But Calgary's definitely looking like we're not too far behind, given that we've only lost the three games we lost is only by combined 11 points. And we've been trucking along with Jake Maier. But Bo, he's looking like he's going to get healthier much sooner, which that's definitely a good thing. And I did feel we were going to take a step back, but, it's not as much now with more proven depth. So anyways, what do you think about the fact that Bo Levi Mitchell, Bo, our quarterback, might be coming back a lot sooner than anticipated, and that's definitely a great Labor Day treat in itself for me. And of course, I'm just glad we have football again, and it just doesn't feel Labor Day-ish without CFL football and me being in the stands. So anyways, like I say, if you want to follow along this Calgary sports fan's journey, on the Flames, Hitman, Roughnecks, Stampeders, I'm also Utah Calgary Sports on my YouTube channel with recapping game stories, but sometimes I do have the odd non-Calgary sports story that I like to talk about, share some interest on. But when I have time and the energy, I do also non-sports content, personal vlogs, attempt comedy, and I do share my experience on the road at a sport event, which I've definitely done a lot more of that last month. So if that all sounds like it'd be interesting to watch, to follow along with this Calgary sports fans journey, you just make sure you like, subscribe. I also have my other social links down in the description below, and with a few small trips that I potentially have planned, coming in the next month or two. There might be a few small vlogging to go, which another thing I've done, but I've kind of taken a break from that because I've been busier with my sports content. And then last thing, I do have my Brett Hornby Shorts channel, where I exclusively put my short form content on that channel, experimenting with the new platform that YouTube has provided, which, for example, let's say after the Labor Day Classic tomorrow, as of this recording, I'll give my quick post-game recap, what happened, what stood out, and of course who won. Hopefully these guys, given history, we win more often than not on Labor Day. So I'm going to say, go Stamps go. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. And yes, Bo Levi Mitchell, Jake Maier, I'm definitely liking that quarterback duel as of this post right now. So thank you.